This is Aaron Rice with Maryland Climate Tech 2026. So glad that you made it to this session. I am here with my good friend, Alma Wiggins. Alma, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let us know who you are, what you do, and where you do it.
Good morning, Mr. Aaron Rice in Baltimore, USA. I remember your message that you had recorded on your phone. Good morning, and I am Alma Wiggins. I am a trustee and vice chair of the trustee board at Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Rockville, USA. And it is a pleasure to be with you again. And we have a long history, and it has been a real delight on this journey since you introduced me to this whole concept. So it's your fault that I'm immersed in all of this.
I strapped you onto the roller coaster.
Yes, and I thank you for that because it has been a real educational journey, a challenging journey, and I really have learned an awful lot, met a lot of wonderful people, and on the road for purpose and mission building at my church. I've been a member for a very long time, and when you introduced me to this concept based on the laws that were passed in 2022, I learned what BEPS was, and I just took off from there. And we have a number of things that are going on at church since then, which 2023, and we have moved through the planning stage. We are now at the implementation stage. And as I look at churches and organizations across the state and around the country, we're doing good work. It's a lot of work. It's challenging and revealing as well. And over that period of time, I've experienced um, a number of things and made some observations that might be helpful to other churches and organizations who are going through this. I've been very intensely involved with the MEA office, the comptroller's office, the Montgomery County Green Bank, and a lot of other experts that have been working with us as we go through the exploration, uh, evaluation, reporting, um, and really looking at some of the final deliverables that are necessary for the planning stage. And we're now on the cuff of implementation.
And let me take it a few steps back for folks, because we tend to in this industry, and Alma and I have known each other for gosh, what's it been 25 years or so.
Yeah, yeah,
We're both real estate industry professionals, and we use a lot of acronyms from time to time. So BEPS is the Building
yes.
Energy Performance Standard. So for those that aren't familiar, Maryland has the most aggressive climate law in the nation. All of our buildings, 35,000 square feet or more, need to be net zero by 2040. And Alma's church, Mount Calvary Baptist Church, is located in, as she said, Rockville, USA, Rockville, Maryland. And so in Montgomery County has its own very aggressive climate law as well. And so their buildings, 25,000 square feet or more, need to reduce their energy use intensity as well. So they've got their own kind of county building energy performance standard. And then there's the statewide building energy performance standard. And I'm sure we'll talk about what we discovered
Oh, yes.
about the statewide. But one of the things that I think we did very right in the very beginning, Alma, was two things. Number one was the gross square footage verification. Because I'm hearing from, shout out to Mary Thomas at the Innovation Hub, with the Institute for Market Transformation. She's saying that 70% of the tickets that they're getting um, are because buildings did not verify their square footage. They went off of either plans or the public record, which you and I know as real estate
Yes,
practitioners is always going to be wrong.
absolutely.
So I think day one, the first thing we did, actually, the very first thing we did, after we had our crab cake because this all started over a crab cake. The very first thing we did was I brought my LiDAR camera to the church and spent about 8 hours scanning the entire property. And we thought the property was 32,000 square feet, but we discovered it's 38,000.
112.
112 square feet. So that was the first thing that we did was verify square footage. I'm glad we started there because that alleviates so many problems in the back end. The second thing that we did was we dropped three of these indoor air quality monitors in the property. We measured for radon, asthma triggers, volatile organic compounds, and we did that for 90 days just to find out kind of what the indoor air quality was like. And then we gave all that documentation to Khalid Malik, who's the program manager with GemCon. Shouts out to him, so he could use that data to then project manage this process in hopes that at the end of the day, we'll be able to come back out once the retrofit is done, use the air quality monitors to realize now that whatever challenges we found have been alleviated. So I just wanted to open that up and kind of level set where we were. My apologies for
Mhm.
interrupting.
No, that's perfectly all right because understanding the backstory to bring us where we are and some of the discoveries that we have made over the years. My points that I want to present to you, and I've got 10 touch points that I want to share with you.
Okay.
I'm coming mainly from the position of the human aspect of this
Mm,
because through my observations of other churches and organizations, and then my, firsthand experience in going through this process
mm,
with the church, with a topic that I wasn't familiar with at first, and then when I brought it to them, and they said, "What?" And being able to inform them of what's going on and why it's going on has been somewhat of a challenge. And that happens with anything that, or any situation where you're going to affect change. And change is something that is kind of scary for people, especially if they've never heard of it. And it's something that they've got to do because there's a mandate and there's compliance on the state level and on the county level.
a 120, 125-year congregation does not turn on a dime.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my points have to do with as a faith-based organization is using that faith, and the counter to that is fear.
Mm,
And their natural feelings, their natural experiences that everyone goes through, and how we face the challenges, how we face the unknowns, change when you have an organization that's steeped in tradition, um, are some things that I want to share with you. Um, First of all, I'd like to come up with a definition of how I'm couching this. Uh, One of faith and one of fear. And I'm going to read it. Faith is the active trust in God, truth, purpose, and vision that operates beyond evidence, comfort, or certainty. It is not a passive belief, it is a conviction that produces action. Fear? Fear is an emotional and psychological response to perceived threat, uncertainty, or loss of control. And that is the premise of the things that we have been going through. And as I talk to other um, people who are involved in other churches and going through that same thing, what I'm saying is not uncommon. And it,
I'd heard it stated as false evidence appearing real.
yes,
Yes. Mhm,
yes, yes.
mhm.
So envision this. Let me paint a little picture. You've got a church. That church is where you grew up. And you're coming with a lot of memories. You're coming with a lot of emotions, a lot of experiences that have occurred in that church where, you're remembering when you maybe as a child, you participated in all of the church activities, the Sunday school, the recitations, the celebrations, the weddings, the funerals, the christenings, all of that. So when you walk into a building, you're not seeing bricks and walls. You're seeing and feeling those memories. And we don't want to change those. But we cannot, and I use the expression, we cannot move forward into the future driving a Model T. I would rather have a hybrid that will take us forward so that we can meet the needs of the people in our community, the people in our church, and fulfill the missions that we have for the church in the community with a broader outreach. Our theme is reaching up, reaching in, and reaching out to the community. And in order for us to do that, then we need to have our ducks in a row. We need to have a facility that is um, safe and a clean air. This is the focus of today, but need to have a healthy building for people to work and to worship and to have all of the activities that are going on. And in order to do that, then we need to do some things to our building that's an historical building. It's been around for a while. And
Resiliency and sustainability are key to this process for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. So the one thing that we need to really look at is touch point number one is that of dealing with the fear and understanding that it's natural, but with information, with data, as you have said, with the floor plan of the building, we started out with that information, and we have used that over and over again. And understanding that when we get the professional information that's coming in, then we have that as the foundation from which we will work and
And
move.
in our space, we call that the single source of truth.
I like that.
I
I like that.
thought you would.
So touch point one is fear. Touch point two is the data moment when we collect it. Like, what are you collecting this for? Why do you need this? And our challenge is to be able to present all of this information in an understandable way to the congregation, because how we move is really based on what the congregation will decide. And in order for them to make informed decisions, we have to inform them in a way that it means something and that they understand it. And once that happens, when they begin to ask questions, like, well, how does that work? And why is this? That is where the process starts moving forward. We build momentum.
Mm.
Data,
And trust, momentum and trust.
and yes, data does not destroy faith. It
Mm,
clarifies it.
mm.
And that's how I look at what it is we have been doing. Touch point number three, the human side of engineering. When I speak with Khalid, who has been just stellar and very patient with us, um, I call it engineer speak. When the chairman of the board, who is an engineer, and they get together, and I'm in the meeting, they're talking, and when they finish, and I said, okay, so would you tell me what that means? Or what is it you're saying so that I can write it down because I'm the point of contact for the project at the church. So we're combining that technical information, but it's also about emotions, how people feel in this whole process of doing something that is different, and the condition of the property, of the building rather. the condition of the systems and what we need to change and what impact that's going to have and why do we have to do this. And it's a story that requires telling and retelling and telling in different ways.
Folks, listen up. You are getting the playbook from Alma. This is the playbook. This is how it happens. This is how we do
Absolutely.
it.
And this is where our technical partners come in, and they're really, really important for us to move forward. Touch point number 4 is the turn. That's where we're really relying on faith because we're walking down a new path. We've not been this way before. And there is a moment when major decisions have to occur. And that's when faith and fear stands out. And fear says, what if we fail? Faith says, what if we succeed? Fear says, we can't afford it. Faith says, we can't afford not to do it. Fear says, we're going to protect the legacy. Faith says, we want to expand the legacy and bringing in new members into the church, thinking in terms of where we're going to be 20 years from now. What is working now will not be current or working, 20 years from now. And that's where many people have, many organizations and churches have found themselves. Point number 5, we're going to have clean air as a ministry.
Ooh,
And to this audience,
talk to
to
me, Alma.
to those people who care about clean air and healthy buildings, resilient communities, the church indoor air quality is not cosmetic. It is pastoral.
Mm.
It affects the child with asthma. It affects the senior who comes in with a respiratory condition. And there are members who stay home because of their health condition. If we have a healthy building, then they're going to feel comfortable and safe when they come in. We have people who are coming on a frequent basis to food distribution. We have distribution on a weekly basis and a biweekly basis. They're coming in on walkers and various devices. We want them to be safe and healthy there. And healthy air is providing a dignity for us who are worshiping in the church and people who are coming in. Healthy air is equity. And one of the things that I'm excited about, a community resilience. The people that we're bringing in, um, envision us as a emergency hub with all of the craziness that's going on now. Um, we want to be a source for the community. Upgrading our systems is going to make that happen.
Mhm.
Touch point number 6, the legacy question. This is a deeper tension because we want to hold on to what's familiar. Historic churches often feel they must choose, preserve the building or adapt the building. But the question is not about bricks, as I mentioned earlier. It's about impact. It's about service. And it's about being relevant to today's times. What do we need? How do we serve? And what do we need to do in order to do that? The church cannot afford to see our utility bills constantly increasing. The church cannot afford to risk regulatory penalties that will have financial implications on us in the future. So what we're doing now will impact us 20 years from now. Faith does not mean resisting change. Faith means trusting the process for growth. Touch point number 7, process, not panic. We had an emergency. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? One of the important lessons on this journey is not to react to panic, but to build the process, assessing what needs to be done, planning in a phased manner, and the financial structure that is necessary in order to do that. All of that is impacted by time, by resources, and by the support of all of the different agencies and professionals that are available and have been really stellar, gold stars to them, because we couldn't do it, without them. Um, the process transforms fear into action. And again, our part, the church and the Empowers team, which is our internal team, is to provide information and clarity on what this means, what the process is, and to keep the church informed. Touch point number 8, why Montgomery County matters. As you had said in the introduction there, Montgomery County is unique to the state of Maryland, and it is very aggressive.
To the country.
And it is very aggressive in terms of what it is we're doing in the county.
Mhm.
The guidelines that have been established by the administration, Maryland Energy Administration, are almost mirrored in the guidelines for Montgomery County. Therefore, I don't know a lot about it yet, but I'm just discovering the exemptions that are possible for us. And when you called and told me about it, I thought I would fall out of my chair. So that information is coming forth. I talked to the gentleman,
Sam.
I can't remember his name right now.
Sam Furio,
Sam Thurio. Yes,
Maryland Department of Environment, right?
yes, yes. I had a conversation with him just yesterday, and he assured me that we will, Montgomery County, Mount Calvary Baptist Church, will be compliant with uh, the Montgomery County laws. That means, so I'm so excited that we are exempt from the state of Maryland's guidelines under which we have been working diligently, meeting deadlines, etc. And that if we are compliant with Montgomery County laws, we are exempt and we are fine. So that was a hallelujah moment for me. And
I knew you'd be excited when
oh
I
my goodness,
called to
yes,
share the news.
yes, yes, yes. And this matters because without the financial pathways, compliance on the state level was a crisis in order for us to get there. We have a little more flexibility. Don't know all of the guidelines for it yet, but it becomes an opportunity. And put fear aside. We're going to figure it out with faith. We're going to move forward on it. And touch
Maybe
point number, huh?
maybe if I'm sorry if I could interject really quickly. Maybe because of this playbook that you have and these guidelines and the duality of fear and faith. Maybe it's a divine intervention to discover that that there's an extra boulder that you do not need to carry up this hill.
Yes, yes. And it came at a pivotal time.
Yes.
And I haven't fully digested it yet.
Yes,
And
yes,
it's I'm excited
yes.
and I've got faith and I've got perseverance
There you
and
go.
I'm going to keep on keeping on until
There
we
you go.
figure it out and take care of the situation that we had.
Because not everybody can say that, right? There's 15,000, 9,000 buildings that are affected by this climate law in the state of Maryland, and you know, and yours is not one of them because of where it's located in Montgomery County. So
Hmm. Hmm.
good
Hmm.
stuff. Good stuff. Sorry to interrupt.
Touch point number 9, the bigger story. The story is not just about our church. It's about being a model, is what you were talking about. Uh, and in Maryland, we've got many churches, just as you have just have mentioned, and their climate stakeholders. We're all involved in what it is we want to create and establish and sustain
Mm-hmm.
in the state of Maryland and in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Community Resilience Hub is something that we're looking at to be an integral part, uh, in the community. Emergency gathering spaces, trusted institutions that serve the neighborhood more and better. So we need to work on this. We need to sustain this. And if we succeed, the modernization occurs. Communities will become stronger. If we fail, vacancies spread, blight will grow, and so the social fabric weakens. And in these days and times, that is not an option for us. This is not an environmental policy only. It is the community preservation strategy. And that's what keeps me going and keeps me up at night also. And touch point number 10, the future. Now, Calvary is still in process. The work is not finished. The upgrades are ongoing. The spreadsheets are still complex. The conversations are still sometimes tense, but something has changed. The narrative has shifted from we are under pressure to we are under transformation of the transformation process now. Faith did not remove the challenge. Faith and circumstances reframed it so that we're looking at it differently. We're working more diligently, still haven't figured it out, still in process, still with faith, and we keep moving. I want to leave you with a few nuggets, a few more nuggets. Fear builds walls, faith builds systems, fear preserves comfort, faith preserves missions, fear resists change, faith harnesses those changes. Historic churches don't need pity. We need partnerships to work together to achieve the goal and the missions that have been set before us. Historic churches need policy and clarity. We need financial innovation. We need patient engineers working with us. And we need courage to step out into the future with faith. Mount Calvary's journey is not over, but it stands as proof that legacy and modernization can coexist. The clean air and sacred spaces belong together. And that's when faith meets process and action, and the mission advances. That's what I want to throw out to the other participants, to other churches. No, it's not easy, but yes, it is worth it.
That's right. That's right. And I know that just in regards to the way that you organized, I'm going to call it a playbook. But just in regards to the way you organize your 10 points, you put the health and wellness of the building occupant before the energy efficiency piece. And so I know and I feel very confident that you will not allow the engineers to value engineer out the public health layer that's required in this process because you're going to need to, you've already started out with monitoring air quality as kind of a baseline of kind of where are we today? What's happening in the
Hmm.
building
Hmm.
today? And then even through the retrofit, even through construction, you're going to want to monitor air quality during that time as well, because that's going to produce a lot of dust and debris and things like that during the retrofit. It's called a deep energy retrofit. And then on the back end, we use the air quality monitoring to validate all the improvements that were made. Is it actually working? You know, when members come in on Sunday or have a meeting on Thursday, and I'm in Florida, monitoring the air quality, does it spike or is it at a normal level? And I'm confident that we're going to be able to say, everything's working great. This was all worth it because we've got the data on the back end to validate. So I think a lot of times people that have the right intention will allow public health to be value engineered out. I know that's not going to happen here because that's where we started.
The, the church is, as I said, it's not bricks and mortar. It's where the people gather.
That's right.
And if the people are not safe in a healthy setting,
What's the point?
then
What's the point? What are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah, we're not helping them. We're not helping them.
Right.
So we want a healthy church so that we can have healthy members and support a healthy community. Um,
This conversation is very important. I mentioned, this is Alma's third time presenting at Climate Tech Plus, so I appreciate you supporting us every year. And as we're going through the presentation, people will be able to see visuals of the church, of the building, and the interior and exterior to get more context. But this has been amazing. I love how every year you come back and kind of give us an update on, how you're leading the team and some of the challenges and barriers that you're overcoming and ones that still need to be overcome.
mhm.
Because I think this is I don't know that there's another playbook of sorts available for historic, houses of worship or any house of worship that's actually going through this process. So I appreciate, all the energy and the effort and the focus and the attention on this process. And I know your members and your family, your church family are very appreciative of your efforts as well.
Yeah, I look forward to the opportunity of sharing this with other, other people, other churches
Yeah.
that will. I had one woman that I talked with. She did this with her synagogue.
Mm, hmm
And in my communication with MEA
hmm
and the other individuals there, she shared some experiences with me and left me with a contact information if I needed
hmm
some assistance because this is not something that is done in isolation. It is truly a collaborative effort. So um, you have my contact information so that it will be it's an opportunity that I might be able to share this with some other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And shout outs to the Montgomery County Green Bank. They have been involved with this
Oh my
process
goodness, yes.
since day zero, right? Since day zero, they've been involved and very active and, excited to participate. And, I know the rest of the state and the rest of the country is wishing they had a Montgomery County Green Bank because they only, at this point, only service Montgomery County. So you're very fortunate to be in their territory.
And one more point on that too,
Yeah.
being in Montgomery County, there are some wonderful opportunities for local grants,
Hmm
and the county executive is very supportive of this. Was instrumental in some of the initiatives that brought this to the state level,
Hmm.
um, prior to the passing of the law in 2022. So I am proud to be a member, proud to be a resident of Montgomery County, and that I can be of service doing this kind of work for us, for Mount Calvary, but it also is, it's on a broader base. It's a bigger picture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I saw that you registered for the America 250 Underground Underwater Bus
Yes,
Tour.
yes.
Talk about having faith and being able to literally walk in Harriet Tubman's footsteps out on the Eastern Shore, I think is going to be an amazing experience. So I'm glad that you registered for that.
Oh, yes. It's really exciting when you did the first presentation, the first program,
Hmm.
and you were stepping out, and you have been extremely supportive, to the things that I ventured into as two realtors,
Hmm.
um, and to see the growth and expansion that you have done, it's commendable. And I'm very proud to be a part of it. And I thank you for remembering me. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we close out, is there any, and your contact information will, magically appear on the screen so people can reach out if
okay.
they do have questions. But anything that I didn't ask you about yourself or your work that you want people to know as we close out?
One of the things that we have established in-house in the church, um, when I started this, it was just me. And we have a team, an internal team called Empowers. And because of some additional things that I'm doing now, I have a co-chair in the form of Trustee Ricky Petty. And
Ricky's been trying to call me since we've been on the calls.
yes, yes, me too. And
Why aren't they picking up?
so that from going forward, we are working arm in arm together to go down this road. And any information that I have, he has also. And he comes with a wonderful background in meteorology. He's a retired meteorologist, so um, I'm honored to have him working with us on the team. And our senior pastor, Brian Bellamy, has been very supportive on, this venture. And there's a clip that we did, a recording that we did at church. When it was produced, he wasn't in it, but I have the raw data, so I will have to utilize that to incorporate him in the presentations or in information, because he is the shepherd of the house,
Right.
and we're doing all of this under his guidance, his permission. So with that, just stay tuned uh, on our progress, and we shall see how this evolves.
Absolutely. Folks,
I,
watch this.
I have the faith,
Keep it,
and I'm
absolutely.
kicking fear down the road.
Keep your eyes on this space, folks. We will bring Alma back for Maryland Climate Tech 2027 to again give us an additional update. So this has been great, Alma. I appreciate your time, your subject matter expertise, your commitment, your faith, and your dedication to this process. This has been great.
Thank you.
All right, Alma, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye
All right,
bye.
bye.